Now this next tool that we use is the foundational tool that we use for all kinds of parts of our brain reactions process. When we're brainstorming ideas, when we're creating questions, when we're working with our clients to identify what the opportunities are here, we use this tool. And we call it creating buckets. That's kind of what we're doing here, so we're creating buckets. More scientific folks like to call it kind of creating attributes or breaking something down. That's what we're doing. We're attribute breakdown here. In brain reactions, we like to use the metaphors of brainstorms, and what we're trying to do is kind of find those storm clouds that are ready to rain ideas, different kinds of storm clouds, different kinds of buckets. So for example, what we're doing is we're taking our challenge or our goal. My goal, as I said, was trying to come up with ideas for what an innovative culture in an organization could be like or feature, right? You may be developing your new products, your marketing, whatever, but create that question and then break it down into attributes. List those attributes out. What I like to do is I like to take a look at the main words in that question and then break those down into attributes. So the attributes could be sub-questions or they could be categories. For example, so for coming up with ideas for an innovation culture within an organization, I see the word organization in there, right? It's for an organization. So I could break that down into attributes of individuals, there are teams, there are processes, there is a structure, there's physical space. So those are all attributes of an organization. But then I also heard that term innovation. This is about innovation. And innovation has attributes of, okay, you do some research about what it is you're trying to innovate. You do idea generation. You do testing, you test those ideas. You do prototyping, you build what those ideas could look like. Then also implementation, you implement those ideas. So those are attributes of an attribute of innovation. Finally, okay, there's culture. What's a culture, Well, culture is often identified as kind of like symbols, right? Or maybe rituals, or maybe traditions, or maybe artifacts, or maybe some learning that happens, how people learn. So those are a few different major attributes of our goal: organization, innovation, culture, and then attributes within those attributes. And you could probably do even more attributes within that. So creating buckets. So the metaphor I use here is we have some glasses or buckets, right? So here's a bucket for ideas around organization, the attribute of organization. Here's a bucket for innovation. Here's a bucket for culture, and then you can even break it down. Okay, here's another bucket within organization for the individuals in the organization, that attribute. So what you're doing is you're creating your buckets, your opportunities for ideas. And a lot of times what people like to do is create maybe a little chart. You could create a chart in Excel or something that's kind of like a matrix where at the top of each row you have what one of these attributes is. And then you can identify ideas for that attribute below. So it's also like asking a question of the question. So our question is about, what are ideas around what a positive culture of innovation could be like in an organization. So we could even get more specific based on those attributes. Say, okay, what are ideas for what individuals could do to be more innovative within this culture? What are ideas to help people become better at prototyping within this culture of innovation? Or what are ideas on, rituals or traditions that our organization could do to help people become more innovative and to have an innovation culture? So that's how you can break it down. And that is kind of setting the stage for your idea generating. You're finding out all your opportunities that you can generate ideas on. So right now, take your question and break it down into attributes. If it's a product, maybe it's how does a product look? What does a product do? How is a product powered? Who uses the product? If it's marketing, maybe it's okay. What's the message? What's the method? What are design ideas for this? Things like that. So break down your attributes of your challenge right now.